Welcome to Haunt Topic Radio, the podcast for haunters by haunters. These are our scary visions.
Welcome back, haunters, to another episode of Haunt Topic Radio. Wow, Christmas time is here. What do you do during Christmas time as a haunter? Do you visit haunted attractions? Do you completely avoid spooky stuff and get in the Christmas spirit? Do you blend both together? Well, whatever your traditions, me and Daryl from Haunt Topic Radio hope you have one of the best ones that you've ever had this year. I know many attractions set up Christmas events, Krampus events. I haven't participated in any this year. It's been so busy for us, but we hope you take advantage of all the events and all the good times around you. In this episode, we get Connor Beats on from Imminent Doom Haunted Attraction. This was Connor's first year as a haunt owner. So we get a completely new perspective on how things went for Connor and what he is planning on doing in the future. So if you guys are thinking about starting a haunt in your first 1 or 2 years as a haunt owner, Connor brings around some good advice, some tips and tricks on starting your own haunted attraction. And he's a young guy, so it's not like age has anything to do with it. I've seen young people do it. I've seen old people do it. So this is a great conversation on starting up your own haunted attraction. If you want to sit in on our next live masterclass, if you are a member of our HauntersToolbox.com group, you will receive an email with all the information in your email. We recommend you go to HauntersToolbox.com and sign up to be a member. There are free memberships and paid memberships over there. If you are a free member, you get access to our Facebook group live webinar. If you are one of our paid members, you get access to our Zoom link, which brings you directly into our meeting. You get to have your questions answered first, and you will get this video and audio emailed to you when it is over. As a free member, you get access to the Facebook group, the Facebook meeting. You'll have to go to the Facebook group. We always have it pinned at the top, and that'll be there for about 3 or 4 weeks, pinned at the top. You can have access to it there. So, our next masterclass is with Justin Blackburn from Scython. We talk about managing and organizing your haunt crew, actors, and how to do it so it's not driving you batty. And that is going to be on January 6th, 7:30 to 9 p.m. Central Time. That is January 6th, masterclass with Justin Blackburn from Scython. So if you're on our list, stay tuned for the email. If you are not on our list, make sure you're on the Haunters Toolbox Facebook group, and it will be published there. We want to wish you Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. Let's roll into it. Our episode with Connor Beats from Imminent Doom.
There we go.
Okay, I think we are live. If you're on Facebook, guys, leave something in the chat box. Let us know that you can see us, you can hear us. We should be in Haunters Toolbox group. If you see this anywhere else, you can't access it, go to Haunters Toolbox on Facebook. If you're on our email list, if you're a member of the Haunters Toolbox, you should have got a link to join us on Zoom. Go to your email and click into Zoom. We'll answer your questions immediately. If you're on Facebook, we're taking questions as well. Daryl Plucky's back there monitoring the questions.
Hi,
There
everyone.
he is. And tonight we have Connor Beats on from Imminent Doom.
How's it going, everyone?
This was Connor's first year as a haunt owner. So we're gonna pick his brain. We're gonna see what's inside.
There isn't much in there.
What's left inside?
Probably after this season. Yeah, after the first season, probably not much,
about
you
10
know.
years this season.
Yeah. So, Connor, I know we've been friends, and I saw your
Mhm.
story on Facebook. You're in Texas. Kind of tell us your, short, brief history, maybe kind of how you got started doing haunting, maybe some places you worked or whatever, and how you
All
got
right.
to where you're at right now.
So I don't know what it was. Ever since I was born, I always had an obsession with pumpkins when I was little, and all my Halloween costumes, everything had to be pumpkin related when I was little. All my dogs were named Pumpkin, and all that. And my Mimi, which is my grandmother on my dad's side of the family, used to put on these crazy Halloween parties out of their house, and she did like haunted hay rides. Bunch of men would all go out there in costumes, just like spirit Halloween latex masks and jackets and all that, and go scare you. But it really started in when I was 5. My grandmother on my mom's side, my grandmama is what I call her. She actually took me into Spirit Halloween at the age of 5, and that was the year they had Jason, Freddy, Pinhead, and all them. And when you're 5, you're like, huh, you don't quite process exactly who these people are and all that, because I mean not many 5-year-olds have ever watched a Friday the 13th movie and all that. I know for a fact I didn't, but it was just like, this is cool, I like this. So they saw I liked it, and my grandmother actually bought me the Jason I'm looking at right now in the hallway. I still have it in there, and after that it just more and more, and eventually it went from they started letting me decorate the porches when I was like 6. Then it went into like a whole back section of a house. Then it took over my grandparents' boathouse out at Lake Cherokee in Henderson, Texas. And the very last year we did it out there, it actually took over the whole boathouse. We had a Scare Factory Skeledemon animatronic actually standing over the boathouse, and people were pulling up on pontoon boats, just looking up like, what? And they were pulling up, like asking, like, can we come through? And I'm like, absolutely. And we actually had that very last year we did it out at my grandparents' house. We had like a 2-hour line to get in.
Wow.
No, it wasn't money or anything like that. I took donations for an employee that they have at their business that actually passed away due to COVID that year. And I said it wasn't mandatory. They could come through for free, but we actually raised a couple $1,000s for him that night. So that was pretty awesome.
So,
So for a young man, you've been haunting for like 15 or 16 years.
It's been a lot. And it's funny, prior to I think it was 2014, I had no idea there was an entire industry. I thought it was just like, I thought Halloween was just like, an occasional haunted house. You see, like the first haunted house I ever went through, Austin actually acted at the very first haunted house I ever went through, which was the Crim Theater in downtown Kilgore, that was put on by Kilgore College. And it was, a bunch of black plastic walls. But, I went through that when I was in 7th grade, and that was like the coolest thing ever to me. But it was like in 2014, I found out that I like was just going through YouTube, because, I'm like 10 at the time. And it was just like Halloween Horror Nights walkthroughs. This looks fun. And that's kind of, and then it like Trans World walkthroughs started showing up, and I was like, one day I want to go to this place. And then, like, as I got older in the middle school, I started like getting into like horror movies and all that. I'm a huge horror movie fanatic, but it just didn't stop. A lot of people thought it would just be a phase with me.
It was not.
It wasn't. It's now my favorite. It's now my favorite thing in the whole world. I wouldn't trade it for anything else.
introduce your team there.
Yes, I got some of my management team. I got Nan Dorsey here. She's one of our actor managers. I got Autumn Barnett here. She's another one of our actor managers and makeup. I got Austin Waits, who is the
How you doing?
he does a lot around here.
Hey.
And then I got Carrie Dorsey, we call her the haunt mom. She take cares of everyone up
She's
here.
also my mama.
Yeah, she's also her mom. I've known those two for years and years and years.
We the dream team.
That's right.
The Doomanites, the Imminent Doomanites.
Nice. So you kind of had a little crew to start with, right? Just kind of somebody to help you
Yes,
out.
sir.
Oh yeah.
Because it was funny. So we bought this building. It's funny. This building we are sitting in right now, we've had it since 2021. We've been working on this thing for 5 years.
This whole place was empty, and it looked like an empty Lowe's. It just shows how big the actual building is.
Wow.
It was basically just me and my dad up here for like the first 2 years with Nan, Carrie. My mom would come up and help because she always wants to help. But it was just this year though. we had a lot more people show up. I met Autumn this year at a training weekend. She came out, be an actor, and I took a liking to her. She really she kicks butt up here and takes names. Like she's one of my secret weapons up here. I got to hang on to her. And then Austin back here. Austin's actually lived across the street from me my entire life. He's known me since I was 5 years old. I had no idea he was into horror movies until I saw his dad outside one night working. Because his family, I'm actually going to give them a shout out real quick. Waits 5 Haunted Designs. They actually build coffin shaped furniture and all that. It's super awesome stuff. And I was just like, what is he building over there? And I went over there and I was like, this is awesome. I'm like, you guys do haunt stuff too? And they're like, yeah, we're putting on a yard haunt. And I walk outside. I didn't even bother putting up my Halloween decor outside this year because their yard display is so awesome.
You just need like an arrow in your backyard.
That just like points over to it.
Yeah, exactly.
I think Scarlet badges are one of the smartest things I've seen in the industry in a really long time. Scarlet badges are basically either pins or embroidered patches, kind of like merit badges, as they are, somewhat named after, from Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts and Brownies, and where after you've accomplished something, you can wear the brag tag of the embroidered patch. Some haunts put them on jackets, some put them on t-shirts, some put them on, with the pins, I've seen them put them on lanyards. But the neat thing about them is they are very specific in what they are rewarding. And they're haunt-based images that reflect what's being rewarded. It's retention, it is bringing people back, and it's actually giving your haunters, your haunt performers, the ability to share that they are haunt performers. And, oh really, you're a scare actor. Where do you do that? And then they will insert the name of your haunt right there. So it's also marketing. I've always been a big fan of Scarlet badges. I think they're great. So check them out, scarletbadges.com. No, that is not a paid advertisement. That is just my recommendation. I think it's really cool.
ScottSwinson.com.
But Austin, I had them actually come out one day because I was like, we have this scene because we have a claustrophobia tunnel here at Imminent Doom in our vampire section that leads into the cemetery, and I actually wanted you to have to walk through a coffin for it. And I actually called them up and I was like, let's build a coffin for this. And they came out one day, and Austin came out with them, and he's never left since then.
Nope.
Yeah, we're stuck with him.
We're stuck with him. It wouldn't happen any other way. He's but all these guys in here are absolutely awesome. These are
Haunt Gremlin.
Yeah, Nan's the haunt gremlin. She does a little bit of everything up here. Her and Autumn keep all those actors in line.
Yeah.
Because some of them need to be kept in line.
How many actors do you have in your haunt?
This year we had 35.
And how big is the haunt?
Well, so the haunt is about 12,000 square feet. The building itself is 16, but it winds around itself so much. It's basically we shoved a bunch of really crazy scenes in this one area. It actually takes about 30 minutes to go through the whole thing. I was not, because I did a first walkthrough. I brought people in who've never been here, and I timed them, for advertising purpose, and it took them nearly 30 minutes to go through it. And I was like, So it's a lot. The building outside does not look big at all, but you get inside, it's huge.
It's one of those buildings.
Yeah, it's kind of like the TARDIS from Doctor Who. It looks tiny on the outside, but you go inside, it's huge.
So we got some questions from Facebook already. First one is, how did you recruit your actors? Are they paid and volunteer, or are they paid or volunteers?
So they are paid. So that's actually what I'm going to get into. This year, I put out an Indeed listing for them. Why I'm telling you guys this is not to do that. Actually interviewing them, post on your social media, and audition them because, again, a lot of people didn't know what they were getting themselves into this year. We had to break a few in. We lost a few, but actually didn't actually go in and interview them and all that. That's what we're doing now. But we actually, for the most part, our bunch this year was pretty good. We just had a few we had to really work with, and they were all super talented and all that. It's just, how I would do it is actually do it like the industry standard, actually have an audition, have them come out, actually have them sit down, do an interview.
How about your first year?
Yeah, it was our first year. That's why I'm so glad you guys did this tonight, because we learned a lot this year.
Yeah, I would say our biggest issue
There's
with
Big Tony.
actors was
Big Tony.
to be in areas that didn't fit their style.
Yeah. Having to make sure we got
Yeah.
actors in the correct areas.
And yeah,
People want to be clowns, but it was giving asylum. So
and yeah, it was funny when they all showed up the first day. They all wanted to be in the clown or the asylum section, and I was like, "Well, the asylum section is only like 5 rooms, and the clown section is only like 9 rooms. So we can't shove all 35 of our actors." So some of them were pretty heartbroken they didn't get to be a clown, And I'm not a big clown person. Sorry, Nan, but
Ah.
I'm just like.
Bananas. Though.
hey, I'm a clown.
That's what we did.
But yeah, it was definitely a learning experience. I feel like definitely next year I'm going to change up how we actually hire. I am going to change up how we hire, but it's all about keeping them too. That's the main thing is you want to actually retain a good bit of your staff each year. So again, you can keep those veterans and all that because the more they're here, naturally, the more they will learn and they can like guide those younger actors and all that. Because everyone has to start somewhere. But it was definitely an interesting year, guys. The actors were probably our biggest thing we had to work with. It was funny. The hardest thing we had to come up with was giving them breaks. And I got to give props to my mom because she actually came up with this break system where we had shifts. Like I came in and when there was like after the group goes through their scene, I was like, okay, every 10 minutes I would go in, I'd pull like one group out, they'd go to the break room and me and the managers would go in and fill in for those scares. I thought she was absolutely crazy. Sorry, Mom, if you're watching this right now, but it actually worked in our benefit and our actors were giving 99% more than what they were. So
Yep.
again, that's props to my mom. So that's how we do our breaks now. But that's the thing. You get them in there. Hey, there's me. I hope Alan Hops isn't watching right now because there's me in a clown mask. And he
I
probably
think he
doesn't
is.
see
I
that.
think he's in there.
Oh God.
He does say though that clowns should get paid $2 less an hour.
Yeah, Alan, that's not real. That's not real. You're imagining things, man. You're imagining things.
So going back to actor retention, so what kind of things do you have in place to retain your actors?
A lot of off-season things. Our next show, we wanted to do Christmas this year, but we decided, it's been a busy year getting it ready. I said, let's just take these 3 months off and then next year start doing off-season events. So our next event we're actually opening on is Valentine's Day. It's for Intimate Doom Haunted House. Which is our
Intimate Doom. That's funny.
Yeah, that was probably that we were trying to come up with like a Valentine's name and all that. So I was like, Intimate Doom. That's kind of funny.
Yeah, that is.
You get points for that one. It's funny.
And again, we pay well. My grandmother, she likes to spoil people. She brought in food every night for all of them, cookie trays and all that. And on Halloween night, she actually brought in whole Chick-fil-A trays with them. And I'm like, Grandmama, you're spoiling my actors up here. But again, they loved it. So
Just treat them well.
just treat them well. That's my whole thing. Again, you have to get onto them sometimes. I had to get onto a few this year. Nan had to get onto a few. Autumn had to get onto a few. Miss Carrie had to get onto quite a few. But again, it's all about at the end of the night, if they give that good performance, recognizing them. Like we do an actor of the night thing here at Imminent Doom where we give it to one actor each night that goes like above and beyond in their scene. And again, it's just recognizing those that really give it all every night, that give 110%. Because that's what you want. You want people that can just be crazy we're open from 7 to 12, so we're open nearly 6 hours a night because we get everyone in position at like 6:30.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just finding people who have stamina. But yeah, it's just all about mainly treating them nice. But again, it is a workplace. Oh, not that picture.
Oh, that's on my hoop.
Who's that?
Not that picture. That was a queue line one night.
Yeah, that's I did stuff on there for like entertainment outside, but sometimes
Okay.
I take Connor being on there.
Yeah, I was outside entertaining the line one night, and I was like, "Oh, this looks fun." I was like, "They'll love this." And I get over there and I start like pole dancing on that thing, and everyone's like videoing. I get on Facebook the next day, and it's like Imminent Doom haunted house owner caught pole dancing. I'm like, "Oh yeah."
Hey,
But yeah, that's a part of it.
Bad
That's
news
what I told
coverage is good
everyone.
news coverage, right?
That's right.
You gotta
coverage.
you gotta be able to act like a fool when you do these kind of things. That's what I'm
It-
saying. You can't be afraid to
yeah.
look like an idiot.
Being
You're in a
afraid to
costume
look like a
running
fool
around in
is
the mask on
death.
in the dark. You can't be afraid to look like an idiot. I know
Now,
for
you
sure
said
I ain't.
that,
No one in this room is.
You said that some of the people you hired from Indeed didn't really know what to expect. Do
Yes.
you train your actors beforehand
Yes,
to give
that
them
was
an
actually
idea?
where I realized we should have did it a little differently with hiring, because the day I told them, I said, if you signed up, be at training day, which is the first weekend in September. They were like, what do you mean training day, Connor? Aren't we just gonna hide in the dark and say boo? And I'm like, no, you're actually gonna be learning how to get in character, how to time your scares properly. And again, it kind of we had it was a work in progress, but again, it was just they had to learn. But like I said, after we got them trained and all that, for the most part, ran smoothly this season. It's just
So
a
what
matter of
kind
giving them breaks.
What kind of training? Yeah, give them breaks and give them food.
Do you know what causes haunted attractions to shut down before they even get started? The top 3 roadblocks are lack of funding, lack of leadership, lack of resources. As a member of the Haunters Toolbox, you get instant access to the tools you need to start and grow your own haunted attraction business. To get started, become a member at haunterstoolbox.com.
What kind
Give
of
'em breaks
training
and
do
give 'em
you
food.
do for your acting team?
So I've watched a lot of Alan Hop's training videos. Again, Alan's going to be mentioned a lot tonight, but it's just, man, all of his techniques I really love. John LaFlamboy too at Zombie Army Productions. He does some pretty good ones from like Days of the Living Dead. It's just all about, I want intense actors because we have a lot of really crazy animatronics and all that here at Imminent Doom, but without the actors, it's a completely different show. And I just said I wanted to do something that I haven't really seen. Actually, take a haunt. It's got a lot of big, crazy animatronics and put some like bonkers actors through it, and like just assaulting you every bit of the way. And that's what we wanted.
It's my dad.
And there's Mr. Larry getting with Austin behind him. Yeah, Austin's our Michael Myers up
My
here.
dad did parking.
It's a family affair up here. Like their whole family works up here. My brother goes to college in Mississippi. He was down here every weekend helping us park people.
Bro, I look bonkers in that photo.
It is a very tight fit.
Yeah.
That's me. Fancy windows. I was pointing at people's phones and I just kept saying they were fancy windows. I was a killer in this one.
Okay.
Cleaning your mess up with some bleach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that we want to make sure they're all clean before they come in, so
It's a lot of fun to interact with the world.
that's the thing. When I actually get to get in character and actually get to go hang out in the line and all that, and have some fun with people, that's the most fun I have. Yeah, I love that picture. That looks like straight out of Halloween '78.
Yeah.
Oh,
Black
yeah.
and white. Black and white sets it off too.
Big Tony.
That's not
That was like at the end of the night on Halloween where everyone was, the line had died down. So we were just like, it's like 2 minutes until closing. Let's have some fun. And this is what I walk out to and see.
We did a lot of photo shoots.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. But again, we have a lot of fun up here. But again,
It's work.
it's work.
Oh yeah.
That's what I had to just remind a lot of our people about, saying, hey, it's a job up here. You're getting paid. Just give it your all.
Yeah, the fun is great, but knowing when to redirect back into work.
Yeah. Because to be honest, there's some things up here that we had to deal with like rowdy customers and all that that aren't fun to deal with, but it's just part of it.
Yep. Comes with the job.
So what are some of your tips on starting your own haunted attraction?
Get Big Mike.
Okay, you do need Big Mike. So
Mike.
so that Big Mike is one of our actors here. I don't know if he's watching this. He said he might.
I think I saw a
tune in
picture of
tonight.
him earlier. Yeah, he was.
Big Mike he showed his sister worked for us, and she said, Connor, do you mind if my brother comes out to act? And I was like, absolutely. I'm like, just tell him to show up like a few minutes early. I can kind of show him what he needs to do and all that.
Amazing.
He shows up and he's like, "Oh, Connor, I'm Mike. What's up?" And I look up and I'm like, "What's up, Mike?" He's like 6'8", 468 pounds, but he gives 188% every night in the haunt. He doesn't take breaks. I've had to like sit him down when I'm like, "Big Mike, you got to take a break, man." He's like, "Connor, I can't." He said, "This is too fun."
Breaks in my room, and he like tries to hide behind the lamp. It's just funny.
But you also had security.
Yeah, security. Now we had a Kilgore Police Department out here every night, helping out with security because they wanted to actually help out and support this new local thing. But that's kind of the main thing. It's just like
Also,
starting a new haunted house. You just got to be patient with it. Like I said, we built this thing for 5 years, and as much as I wanted to get it open so fast, I just didn't want to rush it because I was just like, I want to build it up. I want it to be the best of my abilities because I'm also a full-time college student too. So I run 2 businesses and I'm in college. So it's a lot. So I kind of have to pace myself. Zero in between time. Everyone always asks me, like, Connor, why don't you
are you
have
going
a
to college
girlfriend?
for business?
I
it
actually
seems
go to
like-
college for special effects and sculpture and all that.
Okay, well, throw in a business course or 2 there because
Yeah,
there could be money in that if you're doing it right.
I agree. I agree. But yeah, it's just you also got to kind of treat it like a business too. I mean, it's
Yep.
again, it's your passion, but if you forget it's a business, it's done.
You can
but,
let that get away from you, and it ain't gonna last long.
yeah. Because again, there's a lot of money involved. You got to manage it. You got to be ethical with it too. There's a lot of haunted houses out there that are just like,
Big Mike.
we're not going to pay our actors the right amount and all that. And it's sad. I'm like, you got to not do their taxes on their business and all that. You actually got to know how to do all that. And again, because those first 3 years you're open, it's going to be hard. That's what everyone told me. Those first 3 years, it's rough. You're not going to start turning profit really, but you just got to stick with it. If you want it bad enough, you just got to take it.
Where did you find the building? How did you find it?
So it's about 5 minutes from my house, and I drive by it every day on the interstate, and I'd be like, that makes a good haunted house. So when we actually started looking for buildings and all that, it was like, oh, that one's up for sale. I'm like, let's go look at it one day. I walked in there and just fell in love with it automatically.
You're like, yep.
But that leads me into my next point. Make sure, unless you got a lot of money, make sure that you're not in the city limits.
Yep.
That's what took us so long to get this thing open is we had to build a massive sprinkler system for it. Since it's in between Kilgore and another town called Liberty City, we weren't on Kilgore water. They actually had to build a water line out to our place, the city of Kilgore did, to run our sprinkler system because it's so big, Liberty City water could not handle it. It took them 2 years to do that. But like I went to a seminar this year at Transworld that Spencer Terry from Fear Factory put on, and he just said that, again, don't try and fight your fire marshal. Never ends well for you. Just follow blindly. And I was like, that's what we're gonna do. It's just you gotta. They're higher up than you. You just gotta listen to them.
So how then from that aspect of things, what did you learn about your fire marshal, building codes, that sort of stuff for your town? What advice can you give people in dealing with those besides?
If you can build a haunted house, if you want to build a haunted house and open it professionally open it outside the city limits if you can at all costs.
Watch your fog machines.
Yeah, that was a story. So we used to have a smoke detector in this building because we actually replaced them all with heat detectors so we could have fog. But a couple years ago, we were testing fog machines in here to see, like, which one was the best and all that. It just, man, I'm telling you, it set the whole fire alarm off. Fire trucks are out here, and I'm like,
What does mean?
It was a learning experience.
but yeah, it was definitely a learning experience. Again, this was all a first for me. I've never done anything like this before. If I know now what I knew a couple years back, I would be like, yeah, I probably would have got a different building. But I was like, this one here, it feels like home, honestly,
Yeah.
because we've been up here so long.
Oh, and the doors and the handicap access.
Oh yeah, this is actually a wheelchair accessible attraction too. Like you could fit a wheelchair through it, handicap. You could even go through it on crutches if you want, even though I don't recommend that. But yeah, it's ADA compliant, so anyone can go through, and it's all indoors too, so it can be open in the rain.
Is your queue line indoors too?
It's actually under an awning, like you're seeing there.
Okay, yeah.
Because it's actually, we got it under an awning, and when it rains, we actually set tents up and all that at the ticket booth and all that to where you can walk under them, not get drenched. Because East Texas, it rains a lot during the Halloween season, so you definitely got to cover it up.
Handle those disgruntled customers with humor.
Yeah,
Disarm and charm.
yeah.
Yeah, that often works.
Because we definitely had our fair share of those this year, but our security team again responded very quickly and appropriately, and we took care of it to where it didn't become a major problem. So again, that it's all about just responding to those little problems and before they get big too.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, one of the problems that Dave is asking about is how did your actors communicate to the management, whether it was a tech issue or rowdy customers or a medical problem, somebody passed out or hurt themselves?
So each little section of the haunt, whether it be our clown section or our inbred cabin section and all that, each little section has someone in charge of it. If something goes wrong, they go to that person. That person has a walkie-talkie. They radio me or whoever can get over there fast. We'll go over there. We'll fix the problem real quick, usually out of sight. And we also have a code word, too, for our actors. If something goes wrong, they get assaulted, which is candy cane. We tried to make it, something not Halloween related. So, again, it's just you shout candy cane in there, you kind of know immediately, all the people know what's exactly going on.
Now, would you still use these methods next year, or is this something
yes,
that
sir.
needs a little bit of tweaking?
Definitely, we will be using these methods next year. It worked great for us this year. We actually have a 3-foot walkway that goes around the whole maze.
Mhm.
So, and it's got entrances into all the rooms. So we can actually get to one end of the haunt to another in like 10 seconds and respond to an issue.
And we always have somebody at least walking around the
Yeah, at least walking the perimeter of the haunt, making sure exit lights are on.
Very tight ship to right.
Yeah, like Austin says, it's a very tight ship to run here at Imminent. But we
Good.
I think. Nice.
Well, the people want to know what works and what didn't, so we keep getting these questions. So, one of the things that I had, you were talking about sending the folks on breaks and you and the other managers cover. Some haunts have dedicated people who that's their job is to run water and to break people. Is that something that you did this
Autumn,
year?
get in the frame, please.
Autumn.
Get in the frame, Autumn.
And so all night I'm walking around the perimeter of the whole haunt, and I just basically wait until someone needs me, and I'm checking on all of the actors, and whenever it is time for their break, I will go tell them it's time to go, and then we'll have one of the other managers come and take their spot, and then I make sure that they are back in time. So like their breaks are like 10 minutes. And I'm just walking around making sure people are not in the break room. And whenever someone needs, like when someone sees candy cane, I'm like right there. So that's basically how I do it. So
And she's very, very efficient at it.
Yeah, very efficient. Like I said, she kicks butt and she takes names up
Yep.
here. She
Good.
don't play.
It's very important to have that on your management team.
Hey, there's Brad and Sonia and Alex. They're the owners of Greystone Scream Park. Yeah, good friends. I was actually going to
Okay.
talk about that too.
Yeah.
The Frightful Four of East Texas. Definitely try to work with all of your local haunts if you can. So this idea actually started between me and I don't know if he's watching now. He usually tunes into a lot of Jacob Wilkes at Doc Wilkes House of Horrors here in Longview. If you're ever in the area, you should definitely come check their haunt out. It's super old school. It's terrifying. And me and him, we got together last year because they knew we were opening this, and I said, bro, well, it was Jacob who actually said, he said, what would be cool is just, collaborate, bring more people to East Texas to come to these haunts. And Greystone got involved. And then we also got another haunt involved that's no longer involved with it. But we actually managed to drive a good portion of people out here to East Texas to experience these shows just because we each put I'd say about 500 in each. And we just ran advertisements. We had a show we actually had a booth at the Texas Haunters Convention in Mesquite that won a booth of the year.
Right
so
on.
it's just, it's all, and that's the thing. It's a lot of fun to just collaborate too with other haunters and, learn. And, both Brad and Jacob too. Again, both of those guys are two of my good friends in the industry. We hang out a lot. We go eat at Buffalo Wild Wings all the time. But again, they're two brilliant minds, and just we actually built the booth for it up here, and it was honestly cool seeing all three of our styles kind of combine into that one booth that we took to that convention. So yeah,
Guys,
definitely try and work with all your local attractions too to help each other out. That's
You
what I
guys
said.
do any banner exchanges or like
Yes,
ticket
each haunted
swaps? Or,
house actually has a Frightful Four banner at the ticket booth hanging up.
And t-shirt.
And if you go to all four and bring your wristband, you would get a Frightful Four t-shirt. So it gave you an incentive to go to all four, and they would pay full admission price, but they would come in at the last one they go to, they would show all their wristbands and they would get their t-shirt.
there you go.
And it worked out great this season. It was definitely, a lot of people were very surprised at how well it worked. I knew it would work from the beginning. I was very surprised to see how many people were coming up to our ticket booth with this. I was just like, wow, this is cool. Because it's, again, me, Brad, and Jacob. It's our passion project. So I mean, it was cool seeing kind of how we did it. Seeing our idea work out.
What's something that you thought was going to work out this year but didn't?
Ooh,
Oh my goodness.
Scare Factory.
Okay. we have some down props, did we?
Yeah, a few from a certain company out of Ohio that I'm sure
Yeah.
we're all too familiar with. That they definitely need to be fixed, but they're fixable. We got a lot of people that we know. East Texas, I don't know. It's not official. I always say it's like the weld capital of the world because everyone around here knows how to weld. So I'm just like, we can get it in here. We can fix it real quick. But I'm just like, if I paid that much money for the prop, it shouldn't be breaking down like that.
Yeah.
But other than that,
I mean, we also kind of learned what areas worked and what
Yeah.
areas went stale. And
like we also kind of learned about pacing the show and all that, like how we need to disperse the actors and all that. Like,
Can you
what
give
was
us
one
some
area
pointers
on
on
the
that?
first night where we had a ton of? Oh, what was that?
Can you give us some pointers on how you were spacing things out and what worked and what didn't work for you?
Yeah, it was just
timing at the
door. We had to switch that up a lot this season. We originally had it started at like 2 minutes, but then everyone was like, send them in faster. So we'd move it down to a minute, and they're like, send them in slower. And we finally were just like, a minute and 30 is probably our best time. So that's what we kept it at.
And your mom was constantly watching monitors to see
Yeah.
what's jamming up. And
Yeah, and we had my mom actually in the security office all night, constantly watching the monitors. If we had a conga line build up, we could immediately have some of our roamers come in there and speed them up a little bit.
And then she would communicate with me at the
Yeah,
door. So
hold them a little bit and then
She
send them
was
in.
always asking questions in the walkie-talkie. I was probably
But yeah, it's a lot of logistics stuff that And that and the online ticketing, kind of took a little bit to get the hang of. But even though at the end of the season we got the hang of it and all that, it was a learning curve.
What kind of learning did you have to do for the online ticketing?
So we used Ticket Leap this year, and I'm thinking about actually next year switching it to Ticket Spice because I've looked at their website and all that, and there's a lot more benefits and all that to the business and all that. So we're actually going to switch from Ticket Leap to Ticket Spice starting in February for Intimate Doom.
Another thing we did, I know this is a little backwards, but how we would kind of move the clients or the customers through the scenes. We start kind of a lower scare and it builds in
Yeah.
intensity as they
So every horror movie, it kind of has like that slow start and all that, and it builds in intensity. So we actually did that for our first like 2 sections of the haunt. We spaced the actors out a lot, and then once they hit the clown area, it's like nonstop. Like there's not much downtime. It was like we wanted to warm you up to where, and then it was just at one point it just got crazy, and you were constantly. Yeah, that's a writer right there.
I mean, and your haunt Connor, Imminent Doom kind of tells a story as you go through it. So it kind of helps push you through.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. The haunt's themed to a town that this entity, which is our Scare Factory Skeledemon, cursed and unleashed his army of monsters from the underworld. The only way to stop it is to bring him a sacrifice. So you go through the town, you go through the farm, you go through the circus and all that, and then at the end you actually encounter Skeledemon himself in this like huge climactic finale. So it actually all flows too. Like it actually.
Mm-hmm. And that helps keep them moving.
Like there's no going from like a clown area through an ancient Egyptian tomb. Like no,
to catch your breath.
you definitely
It all
gotta.
makes sense.
Yeah, like that. That's my whole thing. I'm not a big fan of haunt stew and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Just constant jump scares. No, you're
Yeah. We actually want you to be immersed in the scenes and all that because we work very
strategically placed.
Yeah, and every prop too is like strategically placed. Fit in that area. There's a Ryder. That's my cousin Ryder. It was his first job ever working this year. He wanted to work for me, so I let him do it, and he killed it every night in the Tribal Cannibal hallway.
So I guess you're going to have a lot of returning actors for next year, huh?
We have a ton of. I asked them at the party the other night, our end of the season rap party. I was like, How many do we have? How many of you guys plan to return next year? And like nearly every one of them's hand went up, which made me so happy. But we are going to source more actors next year so we can have more, and we can again film more scenes. There's the bunkie. That's actually our opening scene. That's you go in, it's like a bunker because every crazy farmhouse has like some hillbilly guy that has a doomsday bunker. So you go in there and you're like, the bunkie explains to you kind of the story of the haunt and then releases you in there. But the bunkie is he's something else.
Hilarious. He like talks to himself as the whole thing.
Yeah, everyone knows the bunkie before they come in.
You can hear him outside.
This podcast episode sponsored by Scarlet Badges.
We always were looking for ideas to get those actors to take it to the next level. I really want to do something that they can use more than just a meal, or they can use more than just that a boy, that a girl. They love this stuff, but it's not really promoting the haunter. And then I sit down, Scarlet Badges comes out. That's when I realized this is amazing, because not only is it giving them an attaboy, but it's also promoting them all year round. And to promote somebody, to give somebody accolades all year round and have them be able to wear it on their shoulder with pride means a lot. This right here says this is who nailed it on this day in this year for the rest of their life, for the rest of their haunting life. And that's what I really love about this product is you're able to give haunting to somebody an attaboy 365 days a year. And so hats off to you guys. I think this is a great product and I wish you the best of luck because it's awesome.
Get your Scare Badges at scarebadges.com.
So one of the questions we have about the actors, you said you got so many that are returning. But Dave is asking how many actors didn't last the season and what were the top reasons why they didn't make it all the way through?
I think we lost a total of 3 this season. We had one want to bring pepper spray to the haunt, and I said we can't have that. And she said, well, I'm not going to work here if that is going to happen. So I was like, all right, you got to go. We had one of our makeup artists not be able to complete the season due to just the haunt being so stressful to her and stuff going on in her outside life. And then we had another actor get into some trouble with the law, and I had to let him go because he wasn't fit to be up at the haunt. And then we had one. He really didn't want to be there, but he just kind of said, Connor, this isn't for me, man. And I was like, man, it's all good. Just next time, don't do it halfway through the season. But again, we had someone ready to take his spot. We could fill in every night, but other than that, I'd say we kept everyone lasted except for those four.
Good. That's not a bad percentage. Out of 35 actors, you only lost
Yeah.
4. So
And we had people on speed dial that even just said if they wanted to just volunteer to help out, that would show up one night and just help. They all got paid, but I'm like, but they were like, Connor, we just want to help out and do something. Like I have a lot of friends from high school and all that wanted to help and do something. So they just come out, a couple nights out of the season and they'd help with like parking, or they'd go in a scene and put a mask on and have some fun with people.
That is important for any of the new ones starting up, to make sure you have that fill-in list that are willing to go into any scene at a drop of a hat.
Definitely have some roaming actors.
Yeah, I'm a clown, but I was moved to table later in the season.
How many roamers did we have this year?
4.
Big Mike.
One of them.
Big
Mike
Mike.
was a rover ever now.
Austin.
Dan room too.
I roamed sometimes.
4 to 5.
Only
Yeah, we had about 4 to 5 roamers, and we're gonna add another one on next year because I think you should have a haunt about 12,000 square feet. You need about 6 roamers that can pop in and fill in for all those scenes. Because again, they start getting tired. They need to get water, but it's a big scene that needs to be filled, and you just got to be able to send someone in there. And all the roamers have walkies. We can just be like, hey. Big Mike, we need you in the asylum ASAP to fill in for the scare while so-and-so goes and gets some water.
Sometimes our chainsaw guy would be on break, and so Big Mike would take over that scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, too. That was our thing. We had like a schedule. Like when actors would actually go on their 10-minute break a night, we'd actually have a schedule to where like, all right, so while they're on break, I'm going to go to this scene and go fill in for someone. Autumn's going to go to this scene. Austin's going to go to another one. Nan's going to go to this one. And yeah, we strategically divided it out and all that. And there probably was some flow control issues because, like when I had to go fill in for the clowns, I'd put a clown mask on. Sorry, Alan, but I'm just like, I had to do it because I wanted it to flow. So I came in, my buddy Chris Hester at Hester Manor Effects, I have this pretty awesome like skin clown mask from him. So I'd put that one on and I'd go to town in there and go have some fun with him.
Oh yeah.
I like being a clown too.
You like being a clown, Brian?
Yeah, it kind of matches my personality.
I knew there was something off about you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I gotta give the clowns a hard time always.
Yeah. Because you can be sarcastic, you can be ornery, you can be gross. I mean, you can just be whatever you want. But
I will tell you this though, I did have a lot of fun filling in the clown section the nights I did. Like that was a lot of fun.
Our clown section in the beginning, we would do like trivia and stuff like that, and just catch them off guard. And
that's the thing too. All of our actors actually interact with you in the scene for the most part, and we can actually. There are some areas of the haunt, like some of our facades and all that. There's like a conga line buildup. We can actually stop you in those areas. Kind of like if you've ever been to Cutting Edge Haunted House in Fort Worth, we can kind of like stop you in those areas and all that, and be like, hey, hold here for a minute. Our actors can kind of entertain you in that area until that blockage gets somewhat clear, and then we can send them into the room. Nan was very good about that with the clown area, keeping them, occupied until we got off blockage. They'd have a whole trivia show.
Yeah, it was like tease trivia. We did like this whole thing. There were so many questions.
But yeah, that's just the thing. You got to be. A lot of people think just haunt acting is just jumping out and saying boo, and
you've got to tell them about whenever you scared this group of women so bad they stayed in the corner, and then you had to tell them to leave.
Yeah, that was one of the few nights I actually had to break character. Was I jumped? I was in character. I think it was in our laser vortex. I jumped out and I got them, and it's like dominoes, like they're falling down on the floor, and usually they get right back up and they usually take off because they want to get away from you, but they didn't get up and it was a minute went by, and I'm like, okay, guys, I'm like, you gotta go, you gotta go.
They were calling for someone to come back. They were so scared.
Yeah, that one was funny.
I made a couple people fall in my section because I scared them so bad. And then, no, we've had some scares where people actually wet themselves.
Yeah, I think we had about people.
One night too, like
Yeah.
how many people?
The Halloween night, we had about 15 people wet themselves in the haunt. We had to go clean it up.
Left too.
Yeah, we had people not even be able to complete the first
But they couldn't get past Bunky.
Some
They couldn't
people
get past the
even
bunkie.
walk inside.
Yeah.
Because the people outside.
I would gently persuade them into the door.
But yeah, again, it's just you gotta be able to keep those customers flowing, even if at some point, I don't like to break character, but if there's a blockage in the scene I'm working in, I'm like, hey, you gotta kind of start moving a little bit.
Yeah,
And if
do
you
what you
actually
can
do
in
it-
character, and sometimes you just have to break character.
Yep, that's the
because-
thing. Because I was thinking I was trying so hard to do it in character. I was like, get on in there, I'm gonna scalp you or something like that. And then that they just wouldn't go, and I was like, guys, you gotta get going.
Yeah.
I'm like,
So-
because they're. Oh, what was that, Brian?
Going back to training, do you train your actors to respond to stuff like that, or are they just kind of learning as they
Yes.
go? Yeah.
They are trained to respond to that. I hate having to do it, but it's a reality our industry is facing. Sadly, they are trained in sexual harassment. They are trained on, again, I don't allow any kind of alcohol, any drugs, any vapes, any cigarettes. If they want to go, if they need to hit a cigarette or have a smoke break, they can go outside on their break time and they can go have a puff real quick. But I'm like, just none of that in the building. They're trained to be respectful at all times, no matter what. I tell them to leave all their drama at the door. But again, sometimes you got a bunch of teenagers in here and they don't know how to do that. So that was fun some nights.
That was one
But
of our auto-manized issues. It was
Yeah.
a lot of teenage drama.
teenage drama, because we had a couple people show up from a local high school, like 5 of them, and they were good. Some of the they're amazing, great actors, and most of them for the most part super good. There were a few of them that had some drama that they did.
Some drama, but that's
They
okay.
wouldn't but I was like, guys, you just got to be leaving it. Hey, there's Jeb.
That's
That is the MVP of Imminent Doom right there. That is Jeb. So he's the chainsaw guy in our hillbilly cabin area, and his actual name is Jebediah. So we did not have to name him. We didn't have to name his character.
And all you had to do is bring in Big Red.
All you had to do was bring in Big Red every night. He was set.
when I would run on the freaking table, I would go, Jebediah! And you would hear him start, yeah!
And what's crazy about Jeb too is he is high functioning autistic, but you would never guess it in his scene because he was tearing it up in there every night.
A few actors that
We actually have a few actors that are autistic.
amazing. And so that is something. Don't limit yourself.
Yeah, never
Really
limit yourself.
Exactly.
Explore all your actors because
they killed
They all killed it. There were a ton, but yeah, they're all trained to respond to all those kind of issues that happen in the haunts.
Do you find that you need to move actors? I know you're only open eight nights this year. But do you find that you need to move actors around
Yes.
mid-season?
I told them not to get comfortable in any of their scenes. I said, you're probably going to get moved at least once or twice because, again, it's flow. Someone doesn't show up one night and it's a big scare. I might have to pull you in there, stick you in there for a minute. Or if someone shows up late, they're not going to be there on time. I'm just like, all right, so if they're going to be here, we'll stick so-and-so in chainsaw because that's a big scare. And then until that person gets here, they'll do that and then they can go back to their regular scene. It's all about prioritizing your scenes too and having an even distribution of actors throughout. I've been to a lot of haunts where you go through and you're just kind of like, it's kind of like a dead spot. You're going like 5 minutes until you see like another actor. I don't like that. I actually want you to be constantly like every 2 rooms bumping in the actors. And eventually I hope every other room, it's now an actor next year because I can get more staff. because we'll be open and we'll have an established reputation.
Absolutely.
They'll be, well, yeah, we'll have to turn them away. So.
Dave's got a question. Are you in favor of having guest haunters work at your haunt for a night?
Absolutely. So we had my buddy Mannix. His Instagram is Mannix Diary. His name's Mason.
He's amazing.
Dude, him and his crew,
Amazing.
scariest people I've ever met in my
I'm
life.
so blessed to have them at our home.
They came out for 2 weekends because they were doing a haunt tour, because their home haunt that they worked at, Screams in Waxahachie, closed down. You know, they were going to different haunts this year, you know, help out. He reached out to me and was like, Connor, can we come out to Imminent Doom for 2 nights? I was like, absolutely, guys. They came out. I didn't even know what was hitting, because I was like, wow.
Yeah, clown cart, bro.
Like, these guys showed up with like full on trans world
It was amazing.
actor props walking around. I'm like, these guys are great. But yeah, and that's the thing too. We do a lot of local haunts. Like, again, Doc Wilkes, I go out there and I help them a lot. You know, when they're open, some nights we're not open.
I'm thinking about doing it next year.
It's a lot of fun. You get to meet new people. You get to learn new tricks. You get to hang out, you know, with fellow haunters, which is always fun. Because, again, this is the only community on earth where you can, like, you know, like, talk about, you know, making people wet themselves and actually, like,
Purpose.
you know, and not be like illegal. So, I mean, like, and actually find it funny. So yeah, that was definitely I am definitely all for that. And most of them, and that's the thing though, most of them do it just for love of the game, volunteer.
What kind of actor drills do you have? What kind of training exercises do you do?
So we did one. It's called one of Alan's. It's coyote, lion, and rabbit. I hadn't done it in over a month, but it's where we get them all in a circle, and I'm like, okay. Think about these 3 animals, a lion being a big, mighty, like kind of like Michael Myers, like big Jason, Leatherface, head's always high, super confident, hits super hard when they scare. Mm-hmm. Then you got the coyotes that are kind of like those more like stalking. They like to play with their victims, kind of like Art the Clown a little bit. And then you got those rabbits that are like your victims and all that. They're more jumpy, more twitchy. And that's what I said. I would just have them walk around in a circle, and I would just say rabbit. And they go into rabbit mode. Then they'd go into lion mode when they call lion. Then there was another one, again, we do a lot of Allen's drills up here. But there's another one he has, it's the string theory.
Yeah.
It's when you put them in a circle and you're like, pretend there's a string on your neck, and pull it up high, get that super confident, you know, Michael Myers kind of look. Then you pull it down a little bit, you get that kind of stalker look, and then you pull it way down, you kind of got that super predator type look. And if you pull it all the way up, you got that super confident, you know, pervert kind of look.
Mm-hmm. Hips forward, yeah.
Yeah, hips forward, thrusted. That's like perfect for those gross characters. Like anytime like I come out, like, you know, I'm holding like a severed head or something, I always come out like that. And I'm like, you want to give grandmama a kiss? Or something like that.
But and it's also important to make sure that you get some cardio in there. And I'm
Oh, yeah.
saying make your actors do a workout beforehand, but I don't think realize how much it takes from you to act for 6 hours with the screaming or the standing. So it is important to run some drills or to make sure that you have kind of a plan in place to keep them active and moving so they're ready for the season.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're
important.
instructed to also pace themselves too. I tell them
Do they listen though?
So
It's
for
hard
the most
to.
part, no. I'm like, guys, just remember those first few groups, scare them good. But I was like, you know, maybe don't go like insane on them where you get like super tired and you're down by 9 o'clock and we need you another 3 hours. So I'm like, you just got to be able to pace yourself and, you know, slowly work your way up while also giving those guests that intense show.
Now, Rory has a couple of questions.
Oh, Rory's on here?
Yeah.
What's up, man?
The first one from Rory is, I'm sure people would be interested to hear about the maintenance that goes into your air system.
So
nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
Rory has actually seen the air compressor. I'm just going to put it to you like this. The Peterbilt plant in Denison, Texas, our air system is as big as theirs.
Nice.
Allen's air system at dark hour is bigger than ours by 1 compressor.
One
It's
of the
all
other
the deal.
questions that Rory has is, what do you do? What do you have in place for animatronic maintenance, and what happens if something goes down during the night? How does that affect the
So,
show, and
so
how do you get
Rory,
that
I'm
fixed
about
up?
to tell off on myself, bro, but Skeledemon's hand fell off one night right before we were opening. And I was like, let's duct tape the thing, and it actually held the night. And then the next day we got up here and we welded it on because we didn't have time. We actually just pulled the solenoid out that made the arm move, and it was just the duct tape was crazy, and no one ever knew it. But we sometimes have to make those temporary fixes. But then when next day we get up there, we got to kind of go in, got to fix them good. Sometimes sometimes you aren't able to get to them this season. You just got to have them work the best of your abilities. Like we had one from Poison Props. It was our clown window jumper. The air piston in that actually propulsed the scissor mech up actually went out.
It's the door.
And it actually, so we were like, okay, we're just gonna pull that solenoid to where when you walk by, he's just gonna go, and it still scared people.
Yeah, you got to make it work. All season long. So
Learn to adapt, right?
Yep.
Right, your dad, Connor.
Yeah, my dad is a huge. He knows a lot about that. So while we're doing all like the more logistic stuff, all the set design, he's our mechanical genius. Anytime we need. But yeah, Austin actually has the funniest one with animatronics breaking down. Austin, you want to tell him about Skeledemon on Halloween night?
Yeah. So Halloween evening, Halloween night, I'm doing my thing as the shape, aka Michael Myers, and I guess I better get in the frame. So I'm walking, and I'm in the back
bro.
with the exit. Out of nowhere, I'm like, what the hell is that? And I'm looking around. I don't see anything. Well, I'm not looking around. I'm keeping in character. And all of a sudden, this black line comes and hits me in the face. And I'm like, uh-oh. And then I turn around, and I see this line just doing this right here. And it's cutting into the wall, like the insulation stuff. I'm like, this is not good. And finally, I think Watson was walking around, and he got your dad. He's like, "Hey, dude, something's wrong with this thing right here." It's man, it's
It's scary. This is
Really
30
good.
minutes before opening on Halloween night.
yeah.
It
It threw me off. I was like, "Oh, what?"
But that's again, you gotta be able to handle it, and you gotta be able to prepare for it.
It actually got your dad.
Yeah, we've had power go out in the middle of the show. We've had
That's the worst.
lights. Half the haunt lights didn't work. Like right before we started opening up, and it ended up being a mouse that had chewed through the wire. So my brother found it quick enough. I think we were like 5-10 minutes late. Yeah. So yeah, you're gonna come across stuff. So
Yeah, that's what I just tell them. You got to be able to handle it. If you have something go wrong and it can't be fixed that night, you just got to roll with it. You got to still give 110% for your show. If you have to put an actor in that room if something breaks down, just do it.
Make it work.
But yeah, you got to make it work one
It's
way
all
or
about
another.
entertaining those customers, right?
Oh yeah.
Dave has got the question: will you keep using licensed horror characters like Art the Clown and Michael Myers, or are you gonna phase them out eventually in favor of developing your own characters?
We actually have our own characters. Austin back here is a huge horror movie fanatic. Like, who all do y'all have connections to, Austin?
Oh, so yeah, we really good friends with Felissa Rose. We know Miko Hughes, Ari Lehman. We know David Howard Thornton. There's a lot of people
that house. Yeah, they
call him Uncle Dave.
They know Felissa Rose and all them. Like they're big into the horror stuff. Like they go to all the like the big horror conventions and all that. They
and like my aunt.
And that's kind of what we did. Was I was like I don't want too many of them. But I was like, maybe having those like one or two popular characters that people see in the haunt, and people would be like, "Hey, there's Michael Myers."
Yeah, funny.
Especially have them outside, walking around where people can take pictures of them. Again, that's just a familiar face a lot of people know and see, and everyone's like, "Hey, that's cool." But for the most part, it's all original characters inside.
Yeah, funny. I think I've told it before several times on this podcast, but my dad played Freddy for 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
He was the only licensed character in the haunt, but he wouldn't play anything else. And when he started the first year or two, he had a cheap Freddy mask. And then for Christmas one year, we we all chipped in and bought him a silicone Freddy mask.
Oh yeah,
So
we
then
wanted
he
the
went,
Freddy up here.
then he
It's
went to
just
town on that. Then I mean that was, and he played that for 2-3 years until he's 75. So
wow.
there was nights he got hot, and so but yeah, and everybody was expecting Freddie after,
Mhm.
hey, where's Freddie? When Dad left, it was like, where's
Like that's the
Freddie at?
thing. The
Or,
first night
you
we were
know,
open, everyone was asking Michael, where's Michael Myers? Is he here tonight? Because everyone wanted to get their picture with him outside. It's kind of the same with Big Mike. Big Mike, everyone as Big Mike actually became the unofficial icon of Imminent Doom because he was out in the parking lot after people were going through doing TikToks with him, interacting with him. And
I was in a TikTok and I didn't even know. I was
yeah. That's actually another one of our original characters there. That's actually Rat Trap. He lives in the sewers of Imminent Doom, and he's very aggressive.
he
Yeah,
looks
we got because we have like several icon characters. I actually want to branch out because like Overkill, which is my character, he's the caretaker of Imminent Doom. Yeah. He Overkill is something else. People either love him or they hate him. He has no filter.
And I have zero control over that character.
But it's just we try to like build these icon characters up like and we actually have big plans for them next year.
We did have art come out one night.
We did have art come out one night, but that was just our thing. We're like we want people to actually kind of get more invested in our story and all that, so that's why we want to kind of make these icon characters big. Because I mean like John the Flamboy at Hell's Gate and all that gives them like each of his icon characters like social media profiles and all that. Like for their character, they can post funny things on. They're actually one of my favorite haunts of all time, and is a Chiseltooth Manor, which was at Terror Knight's haunted house. Rest in peace, actually in Tyler, and they did the same thing too. Like they had like entire merch lines of all their characters and all that. The Chiseltooth family, and again, that was one of the haunts I went through when I was little, and it was so cool seeing that. But yeah, that's the thing. Next year, I really want to expand on that and actually like create lines of merchandise. Hey, there's Overkill.
Yeah.
No, he loves holding axes to little girls' throats.
Here's his persona.
But yeah, that's just the thing. You really want those icon characters. You want them inside the house, but you want them to be able to roam, where they can come outside, interact with people and be like,
So our goal is to have more of our original
Yeah.
characters take over and kind of phase out,
And that's-
except for
yeah.
special nights.
except for like special nights and all that. Like, but yeah, that's the thing. We just kind of like to, have like Michael and all that come out, every once in a while and be like, yeah, he's just people, know him and all that.
Yeah.
They all want to see Michael Myers.
Photo op. Yeah. Now, one of the questions that Jordan has is now that
That's
the
Jordan
season,
Wincheck.
yeah,
What's up, man?
now that the season is over, do you have any regrets? And what will you not do? What have you learned not to do? That's my addition to the question.
Jordan, you're always asking the hard questions, man. But man, that's a really good question. Probably gonna be choosing the actors a little more carefully and actually
I
interviewing.
would say the process of hiring actors is something
Yeah.
to not do this year and
Yeah.
do better next year.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like kind of what I opened with. We're gonna change how we hire actors and all that next year. We're gonna like completely switch that over 100% to like full on auditions. They're gonna come out. They're gonna show up, and they're actually gonna prove they can do it. And we're only gonna take a certain amount of them. But it's gonna be they're actually gonna come in. They're gonna prove themselves again. The people we have this year, they're already grandfathered in. Most of them, for the most part, absolutely killed it.
Good.
But we just want to make sure that these people know what they're doing and we actually get to see what they do before we, jump on up and like bring them on the team completely.
Now, one of the questions I ask, because I'm an actor manager as well, one of the questions I
That's a
ask
very hard job.
our new actors at the end of the season
Did it freeze?
is, did you learn something that made you better? Do your
Something that
actors
made me
feel
better?
But I'm asking you, but that's something that I ask the actors. Did you learn something this season that made you a better person, a better actor, a better horror fan, better
Absolutely.
appreciating the management side of things?
Because Daryl, I'm going to tell you, seeing the progression between night 1 and Halloween night with all these actors, seeing how much they've learned and just seeing how much they took on, they I was like, wow, it was just a huge quality difference between the show. I even asked them, I was like, did you guys learn anything? Like, I was like, what did you guys do? Like, how did you guys get better over the season? They were just like, it took practice, Connor. We wanted to be actually in there learning. They said each group, taught us something different, new way to scare, maybe wait like 2 more seconds before popping out. Because that was the thing I really wanted to stress was the timing and all that. 'Cause, there's some haunts, they all get the front of the group. I'm like, I want you to like kind of target that one spot in the group. You can tell which area of the group is the scaredest. So always attack that weak point of the group. It's like a predator chasing prey, like a cheetah. I'm like, you always got to know where that weak point of that animal is before you latch on. I'm like, you got to attack those weak points of that group. That's what it's all about, in my opinion.
And what's one way that you grew through this season?
One way I grew?
Yes.
Well, I aged about 10 years. Like,
Yeah.
to you?
Haven't we all, man? Haven't
Like,
we
right,
all?
I was telling Brian earlier, we're actually filming this. I'm currently passing a kidney stone right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's definitely been some ups and downs, but again, what I've learned is patience. Definitely, I've had to be patient with a lot of people, and just like going with it. As much as it killed me on Halloween night that my favorite animatronic in the show was not working, I was like, well, there's 99% of the other show that is working. 1% isn't going to completely nuke my show. But
It's just going to be a prop.
it's just going to be a prop for the day.
It's kind of like your final your character, though, right? It's kind of like your final.
Yeah.
Is that the one that was broken?
That's the final character. That's the big one. And he was still
The big
there.
finale.
And like we had the audio and all that on, but he wouldn't like come down and lunge at you and try and grab you like he usually does. We gotta fix that cylinder.
So
I think.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Where would you like to be? What do you want to see Imminent Doom in 5 years? What do you want it to look like?
So, man, we have 10 acres of land that are on this property. I eventually want to build several haunts that you get to go through. Like again, I want to take it slow. I want to put off again probably not until I get out of college in 2027. But it's just all about, we want to make like a screen part where you can spend like a whole night at Imminent Doom.
Yeah.
But over the years, like we're already cooking up ideas for the set design for next season because we got some big plans for 2026 because everyone's like, how are you gonna? They're like, because it was Sean Podesky at Haunt Finder General. He came through and I think I remember him asking like, how are you gonna top that next year, Connor? And I'm like, I gotta. I'm like, the show will never be finished to me. It'll never ever it will never be perfect to me. Satisfied. There will always be something I want to change, and we already have ideas for a new scene next year that I haven't really seen before at any other haunt. But it's pretty insane. It's pretty gruesome. Yeah, it's something.
Well,
But,
I think that's sort of the general consensus. I'm not sure exactly which room we were talking about, but Alan Hopp said that room was excellent and a really gross set. So that was a little while back. And then Troy Crivolone,
hey,
Connor,
Troy.
Connor is a crazy great haunter and loved the young energy. Was lucky to be allowed to use this haunt for our Home Haunter Awards show set, and I brought some Jersey folks to see his haunt later in the season. Congrats, Connor Beats, and your whole crew for a great first season.
That was definitely a very fun weekend, Troy, when we shot that video. Yeah, that was, man. Yeah, Troy and Alan, guys, those two guys, I love both of them dearly. They've taught me a lot. Two of my closest friends in the industry. But yeah, again, that's something else I kind of want to add on. Never be afraid to ask for help is the main thing. You go to Transworld and all that because I go every year. It's cool seeing all the pretty awesome props and all that because that's what I love. But the main thing I leave that place with is just walking down that show floor aisle and talking to people, seeing how they do their haunts, taking something from them, and maybe they can take something from me. I think it was the first day I was at Transworld this year. I only made it to half the show on the first day because I spent about 6 hours just talking to people in one aisle. Yep. It was crazy. But again, so much information was gotten out of that that helped me with this. That's what it's all about. You just got to go in, join these Facebook groups. Haunter's Toolbox is a great one. Haunter's Hangout and Stoke Beast Live Creepers. Alan's group's great. And again, it's just you want to meet other like-minded people. You can't haunt in a bubble per se. You actually gotta look at what other people are doing, talk to them, and you can learn so much just doing that.
Yes.
Yeah, ever since social media, I mean, back in our day, we had to scrounge the internet for websites and read books and get together with
The
Trans
haunt
World
list.
and the haunt list and the monster list and doing everything the wrong way and figuring it out the hard
Yep.
way, So yeah, with
But
the
yeah,
groups, it's great.
I agree, man. And then that's the thing too. We have all this you have unlimited resources now on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. You can literally just Google haunted house walkthroughs on YouTube and you can see some pretty gnarly stuff. Because that's the thing I like is more haunts or more showcasing kind of, hey, this is what we build and all that. And it's just there's so many people in this industry that keep everything locked up in a little box and they're like, I don't share my secrets. There's only one here, and that's the new Imminent Doom CTH blood blend that no one will ever know about. But it's just oh yeah, by the way, so we actually have a prop company too that I run called CTH Productions, Connor the Haunter Productions. We do props and all that for haunts, movies, and all that. This is actually some of our new stuff. Yeah, this is that new CTH blood blend. This is our new hacksaw prop.
Nice.
That we take a real hacksaw and we actually dull it and all that. We also do these knives again with that new Imminent Doom blood mix. CTH that Austin whipped up. I got to give him full credit. And it's just we do them in two different variants. But yeah, we're actually getting into masks, props, and for next summer we're actually getting into life-size characters too. Because over in my storage room back there, I have a body mold that I actually need to get molded and all that so I can start producing foam posable bodies that can be actual life-size characters for haunts.
Yeah, it's nice because you can always.
Because that's
It's
actually
always
what I
cheaper
go
to
to school
build.
for.
Yeah, it's good. You have that talent.
That's
so
actually
you
what
can
I was
build
going to
stuff of your
actually
own.
mention too. Yeah, that's the thing. The most you can build in-house, the better, honestly. We had to buy a lot of stuff because, again, it's just the time we were working with this year and all that. We had to buy a lot at Transworld and all that. But from now on, I'm actually looking at 75% of our stuff being built in-house now.
And don't be afraid of promoting yourself and what you're building and creating.
Yes, exactly. Definitely show some cool behind-the-scenes photos because that's the thing. Everyone should strive to be an Alan Hops and an Ed Edmonds in their life. Both of those guys are hands down two of the most humble people I've ever met, and they're always down to help you. There's so many people in this industry that are just like, they don't want to help any other haunts because they're stingy and all that. So I'm just like, man, it's just like those two guys, they're flourishing in this industry because they actually want to help and help people like me make their shows the best they can be because they have such a passion for it.
I love that scene. I hung that guy up.
Yeah.
I'm pretty proud of him. It took so long.
Yeah, that's the chainsaw scene.
He's heavy. You would
Yeah,
not
those
think
Ghost
that.
Ride props are heavy.
Out the way, he is.
Yeah, and he got beat up this year, and it's like you wouldn't even notice because the quality is just so good on those props.
Yeah.
The amount of people that ran and just pushed him out of the way, like, move.
Because they had Jebediah on their tail. Jebediah.
That's actually not
Big
how
red
I
Jeb.
face down.
Look at a shirt made of.
I'm also painted.
Yeah, that was like back in March when we did that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's some stuff we actually built in-house, a bunch of body parts and all that for our chainsaw scene. Because that's how we did that scene. We actually have 3 strobe lights in that scene, all at different speeds, death metal music playing. It's super crazy. And it's like you get in there and all of a sudden this like nearly 7-foot tall dude with a chainsaw comes out. And it's just like fear just kicks in and they just go
I saw that you gave awards. The first pictures they were showing that you give awards to your actors too.
I love to give, again, recognizing those good actors, the ones that gave above and beyond every season, and just giving them the recognition they deserve, making them, feel appreciated and all that.
Morale boost.
Yeah, that's what it's all about.
Right. There you are.
There's Autumn. There's Destiny.
She did really good.
She did.
Nice.
Yeah, she
On training day, Destiny was actually one of our, and she's one of our absolute best. We worked with her so much on training day, and we turned her from a mediocre actor into actually someone who's a star. Literally, she absolutely killed
You
it
can
every
hear
night.
her from other
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. She is the one person who it's like, oh, that's Destiny. We
Yeah.
know. She
Yeah,
makes,
we can definitely tell Destiny.
she makes her presence known in the whole, and she's at the end too. So we
So
can hear her at the beginning.
How do you take an actor to help them come out of their shell? Do you have anything?
Constant,
tips?
just like constant saying, I like this, but do this.
We don't close ourselves either. We show our personality, and I guess it helps them be like, oh, I'm not going to be too much.
And
with it.
well, it's just,
And that's what I told them. I'm like, guys, you're in this place. I need you to act a fool
I think
every night. But it's just all about, pushing them to be the best they can, giving them those critiques, but doing it in a way where you're like, maybe this, but not this. But it's you gotta just give them those critiques. I don't like to give them lines either. Like that's my whole thing. I like them to all improv it. 'Cause then it's like a robot.
Yeah.
We're trying to be nice. No, and reminding them that they're the character, so it's not necessarily Miss Carrie doing all this crazy stuff, but it would be my character doing that. And just remember to immerse yourself into your character and go that way. And sometimes that helps forget about your insecurities and your inhibitions because you're not Miss Carrie anymore. You're the person trapped in the asylum or
my character barks sometimes. I've barked twice at like a Walmart, but I wouldn't normally do it.
We act a fool here.
Just get out of here.
We don't care if we look like an idiot and all that. We will act a fool.
No, also what were you going?
I think a lot of it has to do with just throwing them out there and throwing them out there into the scenario and just like, hey, do it. And it's okay to be nervous at first because I was nervous. They take Autumn, for instance, she was terrified of doing it. Then she broke out of her shell.
He got me a prosthetic. It's like I was Vicky, and I was so scared. He just one day was like, "Hey, you're Vicky." I was like, "Oh no!" So I watched the Terrifier movies and stuff. I was like, "Okay, I can try." And then once we started, I just didn't think. I was just that character, and all he said to me was, and I was so nervous. I was like, "Connor, what do I do?" And he was like, just do you, Autumn. Just do your best. You got this. I believe in you. And then it just happened. After that, then I was able to act in the haunt and be a roamer and help a little more.
She was on my table sometimes, and I'd be on top of her, strangling her.
We freaked people out. They literally thought that I needed help because of how I was screaming and how she was murdering me.
We put bruises all over each other. I had my hand over her mouth.
Yes, and I was struggling so hard, and everybody was just like, "Do you really need help?"
Somebody actually grabbed my hand.
I'm talking to people walking out, and they're like, "What was going on that table?" They said that wasn't right.
That a lot of people.
It's like what I said. When you put the mask on, the prosthetic or the costume, something takes over you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You become that. You embody what you put on.
Have you checked out HauntersToolbox.com yet? It's free to join and full of useful information to help you start and grow your own haunted attraction business. All the information on HauntersToolbox.com is created by the pros who do it. We have a library with ebooks and presentations on topics like creating an employee handbook, starting a business plan, or the best types of lights to use at your haunt, plus a lot more. You get instant access to the library plus free video masterclasses by the experts in the haunt industry. Classes like Alan Hops from Dark Hour Haunted House teaching scare acting, or Philip Hernandez from the Haunted Attraction Network teaching marketing and social media, or Leonard Pickle from Hauntpreneurs teaching haunt design and construction. I even got a few master classes in there as well. You don't have to do it alone. Let us help you. We also host monthly live masterclasses to steer you in the right direction so you don't get lost. Once you become a member, you also get instant updates on our next masterclass in your email so you don't miss the next one. And if you need more one-on-one help, there is an option for that as well. I would be honored to help you get your attraction started or help you grow your current one. I know what it takes. Let's talk. If you're interested, you want to start and grow your haunted attraction, go check out HauntersToolbox.com. Don't be scared.
On industry night, like with Austin and me, so Austin is Michael Myers, and we were in the butcher room, and he was murdering me over and over again, and I have bruises from that, but we were in character, and I was screaming bloody murder, like help me, and everyone just saw him stab me, and I fall to the ground. And then he starts following them, and everyone's like running out of the room. Everyone was freaked out about that. But all I can say is, like, once you're in that character, like, you just be it. It's so much fun. Yeah, you're just whoever you're dressed up as.
It's like that first scare you get for the night. It's like a drug, honestly. Like you get high off of it. It's like
It's an addiction.
it's an addiction. You just want more and more of those screams.
Yeah, usually get those new actors, they get that first scare and they get that first person to drop.
That's exactly what happened with them.
Then it just kind of takes off, you know.
Big Mike, his very first night here, I was like, Big Mike, what'd you think? He said, Connor, don't even bother paying me tonight. He said, I do this for free. He said, this is fun. And I was like, well, Big Mike, you're gonna get a cut. But I'm like, bro. But he was like, dude, he was like, this is fun. And that's the best kind of actors, in your opinion, the ones that do it simply for the love of the game. If I wasn't trying to make this a career, I would be doing it. I would do this for free, honestly, because it's just fun to do it. It's all about passion.
Yeah. Sounds like you got some naturals in there too. So yeah.
And that's the thing too, Brian. There are some people that just showed up and they like killed it right then. Mm-hmm. Like didn't have any training. Like there was one actor, girl in our clown area. She had never acted a day in her life. She showed up on training day and was doing. I'm like, Gracie, have you ever acted before? She's like, never.
Yeah, she was like,
she acted before.
She was in theater, but never like.
Yeah, like never. Like she never did like. She did do Renaissance Fair, yeah. But she was like, that's my first time ever like being put in a scene and like having to do something, like play off that scene. And I'm like, well, that's awesome.
Acting in a haunted house is different than any other kind of acting.
Exactly.
It's so different.
It is demanding. Everyone's always asking me like after a haunt night, like all these guys are like, Connor, want to go hang out and all that? And I'm like, no, I'm going home and I'm going to die until about 12 o'clock tomorrow morning so we can wake up and do it all again tomorrow. Because it's like, man, it drains you, but it's the best feeling in the world just to get that scare, get that, just pop out and get them, and seeing those people come out scared, but also having a great time. The world's a very scary place. And it's just like people need haunted houses and all that. Controlled scares.
Well, the group of you definitely need it because I can see the enthusiasm and I can see all of the work that you're putting into it just from all of the slides that we saw. Are you going to do it again? Which we know the answer to.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, no, we're not doing it again. There's a 12,000 square foot haunt in Kilgore, Texas for sale.
Yeah.
That's the joke.
Off the table.
Yeah.
Well, okay. I knew the answer to that question, but my follow-up is you mentioned that you're going to be doing Halloween or Valentine's Day, and you got stuff coming up next year. Without giving anything away, how are you going to be doing these two, and what can we expect without giving away any trade secrets here?
So, Intimate Doom is our Valentine's show, and we're actually in the process of, writing that one out, coming up with all the designs and all that for it. We actually have some really, super intense scares for that one.
I'm so excited for y'all to see it.
And then we have our St. Patrick's show we're doing, which is called Luck Runs Out, because St. Patrick's Day and Valentine's Day, the weekends that those are on actually fall on Friday the 13th next year. So I'm like, dude, I'm like, we got to be open because I'm like, you got 2 holidays back to back, and I'm like, you also got Friday the 13th there, and I'm like, we got to be open those weekends. But we're also doing next year, we're doing a Christmas event too, which is like Krampus and all that. Christmas Carnage is what we're calling it. And but again, we try to focus mainly on the actual October one and these special events we do. We try to make them as good as possible, but again, we mainly focus on that the time where you're going to get slammed with the most guests. But we also want people to come in for these off season events. Come have something fun to do. Like, women nowadays, I found this out because but they like interesting dates is all I'm going to say, and they're always looking for interesting stuff to do for Valentine's Day, and I'm like, maybe this is the answer for my fellow guys, looking for something fun and interesting to take their girl out to do for Valentine's Day instead of taking them, go watch some overrated romance movie or go eat steak at Texas Roadhouse.
It's pretty cheap.
Do all three.
That's what he's saying, and that's the thing with Greystone is expected. They're saying that they're going to wait and see how their Christmas goes and to see if they're going to open for Valentine's Day. But Doc Wilkes is open for Valentine's Day, so we're actually talking about doing a Frightful Four thing, even though it's not Frightful Four next year because there's only 3 attractions next year.
Yep.
But it's definitely we're gonna try and promote that as much as possible to get people into all 3 of those haunts, and that's why we're deciding to open them for both 2 nights, so you have 2 nights to go experience all of them.
Well, if I got so many people down in Texas I need to go see, so I think I just 1 year.
Texas is a new haunt paradise, Brian.
Yeah.
Especially East Texas. Do not let this place go past your radar.
Okay.
Greystone, Imminent Doom, and Doc Wilkes all hit different.
Yep.
So and then you get the DFW haunts like Allen and them, Cutting Edge, Pearlvania.
Texas.
And then you get like down in South Texas, you get San Antonio and all that. There's just so many good haunts here. And Texas is really becoming a new destination for haunts and all that because there's so much here we have to offer.
This big, buddy.
Those are presents from the bag.
Yeah, there's so much to offer here. But East Texas, do not sleep on this area if you want to come see some haunts.
Yeah.
Especially Greystone under Brad Bowen's ownership. Dude, he's doing some crazy stuff out there. That property is it's like night and day from what it used to be, honestly. Like it hits. And same with Doc Wilkes. They're getting better with every season. But they still have that old school haunted house flair, which works for them great. It's super intense. And that's what I said. All 3 haunts in this particular area, they're all different. Like you can get something different at each one. But yeah, I definitely, if you're ever in the area, coming out and checking out East Texas haunts.
Yeah, it's on my list.
It's definitely a good one, Brian. I recommend it.
Well, I want to congratulate you on your first year and doing a good job. And I know you got an award for Haunt Finders, the best new haunt this year, I think, from Haunt Finders.
Yes, sir. I was actually in the hospital Saturday morning, and that's what I woke up to. So I was like, man, when I saw that, I was like, oh, someone shot something in, and probably all that pain medicine too. They shot it in, but I was like, man, that really pumped me up.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that was awesome. Again, big thanks to Sean and Tammy and all them for that award. That
was great.
That was great. We loved having them come out, giving them the fright of their life. And that's what I'm saying. It only gets better from here. One of my favorite people on earth, Miss Shannon Hops, told me she actually, she brought me to tears with this one. She on our opening night, she tagged me in something on Facebook and said, Connor, this is your opening night. It's the smallest it'll ever be. She said, enjoy it, soak it in. And I was like, the smallest it will ever be. And that's the truth. It's only going to get better
Keeps
from
growing
here.
and growing and growing.
That's right.
And especially if you have dedication, because that's the thing. If you're in the haunt industry just for money, you're in the wrong industry. You gotta have some dedication to this to want to do it.
Gotta have the passion.
There's so many people, and it does make money eventually, but it takes a while to get to that point. But it's just like there's so many people who I'm gonna put on a haunted house, squeeze a few bucks out and all that.
Can't do it.
You can't do it. You gotta enjoy this. If you don't enjoy it, you ain't gonna last. You're gonna get cut. you're gonna get left behind. That's what I always say. But it's just you got to This crew I have in here is super passionate.
We love it.
Everyone who is again like Alan, Shannon, Rue, Bug, and all the Jim at Evil Jays, Jordan, Rory, all those guys, Brad, Jacob, again, all them guys for supporting this little. What started out as little, and it's just grown.
Now.
And I was not expecting it to get number one in the new haunting nation, so that was super cool. But again, the most important thing about it is not just don't let that get to your head. That brings me to my final point with owning a haunted house. You got to stay humble. You can't be a total jerk to it. You can be proud of your work, but not like act like you're the best of all time. The truth is, none of us are. There's always someone the customer. There's always a haunt they're gonna like better. The customer, people are afraid of different things. You can be proud of what you do, but you can still support others and and be kind to them.
Yeah.
That's what I always say. You got to stay humble. You got to give back. Like I said, everyone should strive to be an Alan Hobson and Ed Edmonds.
Absolutely.
Sounds like you're on the right track, man.
I
Keep
really
at it.
appreciate that, Brian. It's just I love this industry so much, and I found a home in it. These are my people, honestly. I wouldn't have met all these guys. Well, I would have met Nan and Carrie because we went to middle. I went to middle school with Nan, but
6th grade. Bro.
Austin and all them, never would have met them. And we hang out all the time. That's the best part about it is seeing how many people. Because there's a lot of people that come into this, to work that don't have good home lives. A lot of our actors don't have the best home lives and have been through hell pretty much in life. This is a home for them to where they can come be themselves and be weird and just let it all out.
It's a family that you get to choose.
It's a family you get to choose.
Yes,
And I
exactly.
wouldn't have anything else for it. This is the life I love. This is what I believe I was put on earth to do by God.
I agree.
Good.
Where can they find you, Connor? Where can they come see you?
So, ImminentDoomHauntedHouse.com. Tickets for Intimate Doom will go on sale January 1st. And CTH Productions, we are actually in the process of building a new website for it, but you can come see us at Horror for the Holidays in Bastrop, Texas on December 6th through 7th. And, come have some barbecue at the Texas Chainsaw gas station and, come buy some cool products. Waits 5 Haunted Designs will be there too, and they're bringing some killer stuff. And we are in Kilgore, Texas, right on I-20 going towards Dallas. We're about an hour from Shreveport. And we're about 2 hours east of DFW.
So, guys, if you're in Texas and you're looking for some cool props, and some figures, start making figures soon.
Yes, sir.
Check them out. So
we're actually getting into stuff that's going to break the 12-foot mark for next July for the Texas Haunters Convention.
Okay.
Because I want to do Trans World, but I'm waiting until I get out of college for that one because that's a whole different ball game to vent at that show.
Yes, sir.
And
That's
I'm waiting
here.
till that'll have my full and undivided attention, or I don't have to worry about doing homework every day. I can just focus on that.
Right.
But yeah, that's just the thing. Thank you guys so much for having us on. I really appreciate this, and I hope I did inspire some people on here. Chase that dream because again, it won't chase you back. If you want something bad enough, you gotta actually go out and you gotta grab it. You gotta go look for it because it ain't gonna find you.
Excellent words of advice, and we thank you for all of you for coming on, telling us about everything. I implore you to go and read all of the comments. So I think we got through all of the questions, but there's a bunch of comments in there.
I know what I'm doing when I get
or
home
even
tonight.
bring tears to your eyes. So
man, I really appreciate it. Man, I better get the tissue ready.
and hope that you get over those kidney stones.
Man, I'm telling you. That's what I said. The haunt life ages you. I'm telling you, it ages you. But that's what I said. Everyone was asking me why are you doing this tonight? I'm like, there's no other place I'd rather be than here talking with fellow industry leaders and all of that to and inspire. Because again, it's all passion. This makes me feel better.
Based on the comments, you've been noticed. Some of these people are obviously ones that know you, but we hope that other ones listening tonight
I'm gonna
new
go
to you.
I'm gonna have to read all these when I get home.
Yeah. Congratulations on your first year, and
I
everybody
really
is
appreciate
wishing
that,
you
Daryl.
continuation of Imminent Doom, just to grow, get better. Some people are pretty excited that you have 12 acres.
Man, I'm excited too. We have some pretty wild ideas we got planned. Definitely some intense haunted house stuff that the East Texas area really hadn't got a glimpse of before.
Well, this will be the smallest it'll ever be, right?
Smallest they'll ever been.
That's right.
Every time I'm like, man, like our opening night. To be honest, it was a September. We had a lot of people, but it wasn't like an insane amount for opening night. And I was like, I wish we had had more people. And I just remember what Miss Shannon said. It was like smallest it'll ever be. And then that second weekend hit, boom, boom, boom. It was like we were slammed every night. The line got over an hour long nearly every night we were open. I was happy.
That was always the hardest part of the first, second years. I was like, man, just watching the headlights come in the parking lot.
Yep.
Like, where are they at?
That's fun. I just remember being, going to sit down for like 5 minutes every night and going to the ticket booth and just having a drink and like, oh, there's headlights coming. And I'm just radioing people in there.
Get in your spots.
Headlights coming.
Yeah, no, we had some slow nights too. So been there.
And that's the thing. Those slow nights too, you got to look at them in a positive way. My actors inside on the slow nights can have a little more fun with people because they're on a huge crowd coming through. We can really
Keep 'em
play
longer.
with them.
Yeah, that's right. Well, thanks,
all
guys.
about the interaction.
Thanks for your time. Thanks for your story. Nice to meet you
Brian. I really
guys.
appreciate this. Good night, everyone, and God bless.
Have a
Good night,
wonderful
y'all.
next event that you have. I hope it's a success too. So
Thank you, sir.
See you later.
have a good
See you later,
evening.
Brian.
Bye.
Good night,
Take care,
Brian.
everyone.
Be
Bye-bye.
safe. Bye.
This podcast episode sponsored by Scarlet Badges. Get your Scarlet Badges at scarebadges.com. Also sponsored by Hunter's Toolbox. Take your haunt to the next level at haunterstoolbox.com. Thank you for listening to Haunt Topic Radio. Please leave a comment wherever you found this podcast. Each comment you leave will help spread the word to other haunters around the world. See you next time.